Magi are taking you to Boxtopias, a collective end-of-year show for 2021. Boxtopias is a virtual space that has been created by Magi, the masters of animation, games, and interactivity in the School of Design at RMIT University here in Melbourne. Hey, I'm Amy. I'm an artist and game dev, and I'm working in both 2D and 3D. Tonight, you will see a bigger variety of media from many different kinds of work. We all have all kinds of creative work to show you, and along the way, we will meet some of the authors. Some who are about to graduate from the Magi course, and some, like me, are still going. We will also meet alumni past students who are now working in the creative industry, and staff who also have their own creative practices. To officially open the show, I would like to introduce the manager of the Magi program, Dr. Chris Barker. Hello, Chris. Thank you so much for joining us in Boxtopias.
Hi, Amy. Great to be here to celebrate what's been a big year at Magi.
Yes, it has been a big year indeed, and the students here are so glad that we can finally celebrate that tonight. I'd like to hand it over to you now, Chris, to officially open the show.
Truly my pleasure, Amy. Thank you so much. Well, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that the students and teachers of Magi Studio pay respects to the traditional custodians, elders past, present and emerging of country throughout Australia, and recognise their continuing connection to land, water and community. This year, we're going to be recognising the excellence in many domains in which the master's students at Magi create and research. So we're going to be awarding prizes in 12 categories, which will reflect the diverse areas covered by the Magi course. So I'll keep it short, but now it's my great pleasure to declare the end-of-year Magi Expo for 2021 Boxtopias officially open. So the class of 21, let's go.
Wow, what a fantastic sneak peek into the creativity we have in store tonight for you guys. And I'm so excited to find out who will take home the awards in the various categories. In addition to the 12 awards that Chris has just mentioned, we students have also collectively decided on 2 awards, so I will also be looking forward to that. Coming up soon is our first segment of work. But before we show that, I'd like to introduce my colleague and comrade, Jennifer Lai. Jennifer, how are you going out there in Boxtopias?
Hey Amy, it is so great to see you. I'm doing great, and I'm super pleased that I can be with you tonight from Boxtopias. Our audience actually is joining us from several different channels. I'm going to be moving through them during the show and chatting with our live audience. We're live streaming right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and also the virtual Boxtopias space. The quickest way to find the links is on our expo website at rmitmagiexpo.com.
I know Facebook and YouTube, but tell us a bit more about Twitch and the Boxtopias virtual space.
Well, Amy, Twitch is an interactive live streaming service that is popular with the cultures at the RMIT Magi students that we are part of: animation, games, and any other kind of media. The virtual Boxtopia space is a special platform. You can join in on the Magi Expo as a live 2D character. And later on, I'll be talking to the students who have made this place especially for tonight. You can chat with me on Twitch and YouTube right now on the handles you can see on the screen here.
That sounds so cool, Jennifer. We look forward to chatting with our guests throughout the show. So for all of you out there, be sure to say hello in the chat and pop your comments in. Right now, it's time that we go to our first whistle stop on the tour of Boxtopias. This is a segment called Supernatural Beasts. Our Supernatural Beast selection tackles tales of fantasy and folklore. From the ghosts of the grave to the dragons of China, from the monsters hidden deep in the woods to the gremlins in your cereal box. Let's take a look.
Sam never responded. She must hate me. No, stay focused. Hurry up. Contain his thing, then I can go apologise.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it! Use some common sense, Molly. When a spillover runs, you should contain it.
Wow, that was some totally wild stuff. I really enjoyed that segment. What about you, Jennifer?
Yeah, it definitely was, Amy. Hey chat, what did you guys think? What was your favorite creature? Wherever you're joining us from tonight, drop us a line and let me know.
And we're just getting started, everyone. But before we see our next selection of works, we're going to meet a local of Boxtopias. Hello, Oneeb. I understand that you've been living in Boxtopias all year.
Has it been a year? Feels like an eternity. I'd like to be with you all in person tonight, but alas. Anyway, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone watching. Most of the time, I'm a pixel artist and game developer, but tonight, I'm first and foremost the mayor of Boxtopias.
I see. So tell us, Mr. Mayor, why is it called Boxtopias? Is there more than one?
I suppose the point is that we have been boxed in many places and spaces, and this year all at once, Boxtopias. You get it?
I think I get you. What sort of spaces did you mean?
Spaces. Well, you see, there's a virtual space, there's a public space, there's outer space, making all sorts of places. Maybe our next collection of creative work will give you more of an idea.
Oh, yes. I am so intrigued and I can't wait to see it. When we come back from this next segment, I'll be chatting with one of our graduates. And after that, stay tuned for our first round of awards. Over to you, Aneeb.
Thank you, Amy. You know, if I have a quick look through my Boxtopias, I might just have the perfect thing. Ah, here it is. Our collection of sci-fi scenarios. You see, when animators set to work on their computers, their imaginations can unleash the synthetic, the simulated, and the cybernetic. Come with us now to encounter fantastical and hyper-real beings inhabiting strange, futuristic worlds. Let's check it out.
And we're back live at Boxtopias. We really hope you've enjoyed those sci-fi scenarios. I know I did. Now, after that segment, I'm sure you guys are curious to see some of the faces behind those works. Well, right now, to sate your curiosity, I'd like to welcome our first guest, Iris Ng. Iris, hello.
Hi, Amy. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you too. I understand that you're soon to graduate. How does that make you feel?
Well, there's going to be a lot of changes. Melbourne's just releasing the lockdown, and I've just finished my master's degree now, so I guess this is a new chapter.
Yes, Iris, I think we've all been looking forward to shaking things up in 2022. I know I'm looking forward to a haircut after my second dose. Iris, your work is highly experimental and quite inventive. So tell me about how you would describe your own work in your words and what inspirations would drive these.
Well, when I plan and make my work, I always try and think about what question I'm asking and how I'm going to create an answer to that. So a lot of my recent works do stem from the curiosity of how technology can push those boundaries and revamp the current situations and experiences that we have. I'm mainly inspired by the idea of taking an existing idea and turning that into a digitally created experience somewhere else, just so that it feels like an expanded version of the original. For example, one of my favorite games designers, Satoshi Tajiri, is the creator of Pokemon. He actually created the game to show his friends his bugs, and then he created a movement.
That mindset and philosophy is quite inspiring, and I love seeing the fun little experiments present in your works. So tell me, how do you plan to push these talents into the field and maybe the world?
Well, I'd like to create opportunities for more open-ended discussions and conversations. I think digital media can be used in many different shows to show different opinions and views. So as a designer, I'd like to continue developing new ideas and concepts to prompt people into talking about how technology can help us grow as a society.
That will be a great way to contribute with your very diverse talents. Iris here actually comes from a very mixed background of graphic design, games, and consulting. So can you tell us a bit more about what's coming up next for you? What's on your roadmap?
Well, I'll be looking for more opportunities within a more corporate landscape that aims towards maybe user experience and that kind of side. This means I'll probably be looking at things of how to help people experience applications and looking at a more research stance and how that's going to look like in the future. I'm currently working with an educational company as a games consultant, and I'm mainly focusing on how I can revamp their current learning application and turning it into a more playable experience.
That is so exciting for you. I'm excited for you. I'm looking forward to see what you work on next. I also see on the program that your work, Holoscape, is coming up. It's an online escape room, so be on the lookout for that. Iris, thank you so much for being part of the expo.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Continuing on in the spirit of celebrating our Magic creators tonight, coming up is our first award segment. Over the course of tonight's show, a variety of awards will be presented to our Magic students. Most of the nominees' work you'll be seeing tonight, but for a comprehensive list of all the nominees, please check out our website at rmitmagicexpo.com. The response to the awards have been huge, and nominations have been made by both staff and students. So across all the awards, there have been over 100 works nominated for the judges to consider. Quite busy. So without further ado, we will now cross over to the award-winning animator, Evan McInnes, to reveal the first 3 segments award for the evening. Over to you, Evan.
Thank you, Amy. It's a pleasure to be back for another expo. And hello to everyone watching. I'm Evan. I'm very excited this evening to be presenting 3 awards in areas that I'm quite passionate about. The first award is the David Atkinson Award for Character Animation. The award is named for David Atkinson, who was a champion of the fledgling animation industry in Australia and who promoted the unlimited potential of character animation throughout his teaching career. The David Atkinson Award is given for the pursuit of character animation as an art form and for maintaining high standards of craft and expression. The judges wish to recognize and honorably mention the work of Hong-Yin Shi. So well done, Hong-Yin. And the award, the David Atkinson Award for character animation, goes to James Elms for his work Crimson Blade and the Doriaki Incident. Congratulations to the nominees, to Hong-Yin and to James for their great work. The next award is distinct from animation and goes to the design of the character itself. The Achievement in Character Design Award recognizes that character extends across all time-based media and has a profound influence upon the creation of a narrative world. Here again, the judges wish to make an honorable mention, again, for the collected works of James Elms. Great stuff, James. The award for character animation, the award for achievement in character design goes to Ben Mansur for Humanimals. Congratulations to the nominees, to James and to Ben for all your wonderful work and beautiful designs. The next award is for achievement in 2D or 3D illustration, production, or environment design. The skills of the illustrator are prized very highly in capturing a concept, an interface, or a story world in a single frame. From standalone works of art to those created in the service of a more extensive production, the award highlights the importance of illustration at Magi. The judges again wish to make an honorable mention, this time for the collected works of Amber Southall. Well done, Amber. Lovely work. The award for achievement in 2D or 3D illustration, production, or environment design goes to Rui Liu for 1/9. Congratulations to the nominees, to Amber and to Rui for your outstanding work. Moreover, congratulations to all the folks that input this year into the Magi Expo and for all your hard work in producing wonderful pieces of art. It's been a great collection of work from all of the class of 2021. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of the evening.
Thank you, Evan, for presenting those awards, and congratulations to the recipients and nominees. You guys deserved it. It was truly phenomenal. So it has been a strange time for everyone this year. Working online has definitely been a strain for most of us, so it's so good that we can finally come together tonight to catch up with each other and just celebrate each other's work.
For sure. For many of us, it's the first time in a long time that we can finally sit back and enjoy the creative efforts of our peers. I've been busy up until last week finishing off my own work, so tonight I'm seeing some of the work for the very first time.
Definitely, Anib. It is interesting that we're presenting this work in this online format. The whole Magic cohort has been collaborating for like months now to create this exhibition and screening experience. So I'm actually super excited to be chatting with our viewers online.
Well, to make the most of this screening experience, why don't we jump back into our student works with something interesting? What do you say, Mayor O'Neep?
Sounds good. Thank you, Jennifer and Amy. Now, the next set of works I am about to show you are going to shift the pace a little bit. Personal, reflective works can be intimate and provide a unique form of expression. These works share something about nothing, everything, and both at once. Between contemplation, vulnerability, and the mundane, these works form an emotional connection that only personal storytelling can. Let's have a look.
There were 368 cases today, and as far as we know,
Remote control color television, so beautiful, is an amazing new wireless wizard electronic remote control, so perfected.
Before men learned how to control fire and put it to work, it was man's greatest enemy. In much the same way, your emotions can be your own greatest enemy. I think of fire in connection with emotions because when you become stirred up, when your emotions control your actions, it affects not only yourself, but the people around you.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Dave. I can't go out with you tonight.
What gives anyway? You got a family party on or something?
No, it's nothing to do with the family. I don't know how to say this, Dave. I mean, I'm dating Jimmy Dawson.
Give me that again?
I'm dating Jimmy Dawson.
Psychologists find that control of emotions can be gained by understanding the stimulus-response pattern. A balance of emotions is important to a well-rounded personality.
It turns off the set amplifier.
My own garden. Planting something is a good thing. Or is it just a passing fancy of mine? I'm not sure right now. I wish, and I wonder. Digging holes, planting seeds. Between my sunflowers, I will sit down. But it's not always sun and flowers. Everything takes root from here and must go through many hardships. Plants also. Looking forward to the sun and the rain. Craving for growth in the silent night. Living enthusiastically without fear of death. Time has sowed the seeds. I just watch it bloom and grow its harvest. It's all about giving and receiving, embracing the wind, dancing on my own garden.
It's been a while. I haven't seen Maru and Pepper. Do you remember them? That's right, my neighbor's dogs. They're so happy being petted, and so am I.
I miss you guys.
You know, things have changed a lot since lockdown. I start walking every day and looking at the road and the sky from a new perspective. It seems that everything amuses me much more than it ever did. I enjoy immersing in my imaginary world while walking and picking up things that are pretty common, but really spark my interests, like fallen leaves. It can always light up my whole day.
Wow, I really enjoyed that segment. Feels like I got a soul cleanse off that. Great work, guys! Digital media can really draw out amazing personal visions. Now for our next award segment, wait, is that O'Neill with an absurd amount of awards in his hands? Or puzzles in his hand?
Oh, yes, Amy, it is I. And I have one last collection to share with you before our next awards. I have Rubik's cubes and other puzzles. Wait a sec. That isn't a Rubik's cube. Never mind. Ignore that. Now then. Puzzling, quizzical, and enigmatic. These games take many forms and present you with many different challenges. These student works will mystify, baffle, and engross you in their mechanics and twists. Let time stop, set your mind to work, and delve into these new dimensions. Let's have a look.
Welcome back, guys. Well, between all that weird and wonderful, what was your favorite? I love seeing all the variety of games, as I myself am actually a game designer and developer with an enormous passion for live streaming and esports. I've enjoyed seeing many of these works actually grow throughout the year, and personally, I, like Amy, have also just finished the first year of this course. What world would you guys like to visit first? I see that there's been some comments, especially I saw one earlier from Kate on Facebook saying that there's a lovely dialogue delivery. And I agree with this. Like, as someone who has done dialogue delivery myself, it is extremely difficult to record. And like, I know the pains and stresses of just recording over and over. And I agree, it's actually a lot harder to do than it seems. And there's also another comment about actually Iris's escape room, online escape room from a person called Emily on YouTube. And they said that it was really interesting. And I happen to also agree because with the pandemic now, and it's difficult to meet each other, right? And like now lockdown's lifted, we can finally meet each other and it's amazing. And like, this online escape room is just a new way to play with each other and be able to have fun and actually do an escape room, but online. And Amy, back to you.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Iris yesterday about her escape room. So she has said to me that, well, because of the pandemic, the escape rooms were no longer available, and online format was just a lot more readily available for everyone. But to her, a lot of the escape rooms felt really awkward online, so she was really trying to just make that experience feel better to everyone. So moving on with the show, Jennifer, where are you right now?
Well, Amy, I'm actually in quite a few places. I'm on the Magi Facebook site where the show is streaming live, and you can see the URL right now. We're also hosting a party in our Boxtopias space, so join us there as your own pixelated avatar. And there's even a cinema inside the Boxtopias space, screening the expo. So wherever you're joining us from, please feel free to jump into the chat with questions, comments, and just be part of this live event.
That is great, Jennifer. We look forward to hearing more from the audience. Right now, we're going to cross to the man who directed the 2018 Expo, visionary digital artist Orlando Mead, to present our next round of awards. Hello, Orlando. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Amy. It's good to be with you at the Expo tonight. The next award is for Achievement in Storytelling. At Magi, powerful and emotionally compelling projects are often built upon the basis of a good story. Whether that story takes the form of writing, storyboards, comics, animation, or anything else, the award for Achievement in Storytelling recognises outstanding fictional works the students have created. The judges wanted to recognise two honourable mentions. Firstly, The Final Moments of Willis Wall by Holland Kerr. The judges said this work was a lean, yet rich and affecting visual interpretation of an audio story, beautifully directed. And secondly, the judges have made honourable mention of Fortuitous by Alvin Hui, calling this work an ambitious and cinematic piece of abstract storytelling. And now, the award for achievement in storytelling goes to Ben Mansur for Humanimals. Congratulations to the nominees, to Holland and Alvin, and to Ben. Beautifully animated stories all round. Next up is Achievement in Visual Effects in any medium. Visual effects are more than just eye candy. They're a major component of visual communication and storytelling across all forms of media. The Achievement in Visual Effects Award celebrates the students who have demonstrated special commitment to their craft and their exceptional work in the field. The award for Achievement in Visual Effects goes to Atul Shakya for Ultimate Rigging Tool for Maya. Congratulations to the nominees and to Atul. Get down. This next award is in a field of creativity close to my heart. This award is for achievement in experimental art, animation, or video. In order to find your own creative voice, it's important to break away from established creative norms and innovate new ways of using your medium. This award recognizes work that demonstrates rigorous effort and risk-taking put towards highly experimental outcomes. And the award for achievement in experimental art, animation, or video goes to Chloe Ma for Finding My Way. Congratulations to Chloe and to the nominees. There are more awards to come after this, but the last one in this segment is for achievement in games. Creating any sort of game takes more than knowing how to code. Art, design, rules, mechanics, and anticipating how players will behave are all just as vital. The nominations for the Achievement in Games Award are considered for excellence shown in a pitch, prototype, or finished product. And the award goes to Chengzhan Dong for Timeline. Congratulations to the nominees, and congratulations to Dong. There's some great work that's come out of Magi in 2021. It's great that you're all celebrating online together tonight, and I'm glad that I could drop in to be a part of it. Aren't we? Now back to the Expo hosts.
Thank you, Orlando, and congratulations to all our nominees and recipients. And right now, we actually have two more special guests from the student cohort of 2021. Welcome, Duncan Corrigan and Miles Colubriali. So, Duncan, let's start off by talking about your work, Live at 12:47 p.m. Tell us a little bit about it. Why live at 12:47 p.m.? And what motivated you to make this kind of game?
So technically, the game is pronounced live at 6:49 p.m. or whatever the current time is. It was just at 12:47 that I came up with the idea for the title. So the game, it's like a silly little game about creativity, connection, and community, where you can kind of wander around freely, listen into your community, and grow inspired, but quite literally. So I was inspired. I was at a symposium in New Zealand called Play by Play, and I was just pretty overwhelmed just being around all these really creative, interesting, generous people, skill sharing, and I just was very inspired by these everybody's sort of interest in enriching the community around them, and I kind of felt overwhelmingly sort of inspired in a way that I felt like I could burst. And I wanted to see if I could have that experience in a game.
Yeah, totally. I like the fun fact about the title and how it's actually interchangeable. I think that's really cool. And speaking of skill sharing, Duncan, and now that it's your turn to be generous, what do you want the audience to take away from this game?
Yes, so with all my creative works, I'm looking to sort of cultivate playful culture or inspire my community to be playful. So that's essentially it. That's what I hope in any sort of creative work that I do is to sort of build up and encourage people to both embrace and celebrate play.
That is a really wonderful way to look at play. Because for me, I do all the things that I do because I love to play. So your approach is really relatable and incredibly inspiring. How did you go about incorporating these ideas and the compassion and play into the making of this game?
Yeah, so the way that I guess I approach game design is I sort of think about what inspires playfulness in me, and then how could I maybe take some of those concepts and put them into a game. So for me, a huge thing is friends. So friends, improv, and dance. And so I try to put these things into a game. So the game is like a friend in the way that it supports your integrity and it tries to make you laugh. It's like a good improv partner in that it gives you interesting prompts to play off of. And it feels like a dance because it's flowing and expressive.
It's really cool how you've thought about building kindness into this game and the whole dance aspect. I think that's incredibly unique. And I really think what you've done is really, really special. And on to you, Miles. Why don't you tell a bit about your animation that you've made this year?
Yeah, well, the main project that I've been working on this semester is called Brood, and it's sort of this surreal story that came from my real feelings a few years ago, early in my transition. So I wanted to tell this story about like a cockroach that turns into a boy because that sort of metaphor felt like it encapsulated what that feeling was like moving through life in that sort of way and changing things. And it was in a way that was removed from my body, this like description of it. It was more about the way I was feeling.
Yeah, for sure. And to be honest, using a cockroach really makes it stand out. Like, of all the bugs to pick, why a cockroach? I have to know, like, what led to these choices in the film? What inspired or influenced this animation style?
Yeah, I think I like that a cockroach is so gross and that like when people see even just like the suggestion of a cockroach, there's something very visceral about it. And people are always like, ooh, and I believe it's like it's the most commented on thing about the film. And so then moving with that and the other little metaphors and visual choices in it, I wanted to be very purposeful in the way that the whole thing is like the composition over every shot and every scene. So I looked at a lot of different concept artists like Walt Paragoy and Maurice Noble, and even the movement of the villain in Samurai Jack, because all of these artists in different ways are very careful and particular in the way they use shapes and colors and the way they frame everything. And that was something that was really important to me throughout the film.
Definitely. I'm so glad you mentioned Samurai Jack because Samurai Jack is a classic. And I also think it's very admirable to be openly vulnerable and to share the story with us. I honestly appreciate it. And I have to know, what made you choose to share this kind of story? Because it's so personal, like, why is this important for you?
I think for me, it's the main motivation behind sharing it is like it's a very cathartic process for me. Like it's because even in all the surrealism and like crazy visuals or whatever, like if I was trying to tell something that was very real, and I think that that vulnerability is what people resonate with, and I hope that even if they have felt that way before or haven't, there is some level of catharsis and connection to the film.
Well, Miles, I definitely feel like I'm becoming a better person listening to the both of your works. It's really lovely to just talk to you guys and just kind of think and just look at how you guys are sharing in different ways with your work. Like Duncan with your generosity and skill sharing, and then Miles with your own very personal storytelling. And moving on from that, what would you guys like to do next? Like next semester or even a few years down the line?
Yeah, I don't have any particular plan, but I think sort of being playful in my process is very important to me. So enjoying what I do, but I am looking to hopefully display or showcase at like playful arts festivals around the world and travel a bit. But in general, with my creative projects, yeah, really about like enriching the lives of my community. So I'm part of this collective with some friends in Sydney called Serenade, where we like host these like experimental arts like game exhibits. So yeah, doing stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I think I also don't have that much of a plan. I'd like to do more sort of personal projects and develop the ones I've done so far more. But I'd also really like to have the opportunity to collaborate on something bigger, whether that be like in the studio or just with other artists and stuff like that.
Well, I'm glad that both of you have some sort of ideas in mind for your future. I really want to thank you, Miles and Duncan, for sharing your personal experiences with us.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And before we go on, I wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who helped make tonight possible. Behind the scenes, there's been a massive collaborative effort from a ton of students. It's been a lot of work, right, Amy?
That's very true, Jennifer. We've all been working very hard and volunteering since July to bring this exciting showcase to life. So a huge thank you to the team behind our backs. You guys are all champions and legends. And also to the 87 students from recent arrivals through to the recent graduates have all worked on their individual presentations for this presentation.
Exactly. That's almost the entire Magi enrollment. It's incredible to see this effort all around, and we cannot thank you enough. Now, what do we have next?
Well, Jennifer, sometimes a place has so much impact that it becomes a character in itself. In these works, the places hold such depth that they come alive. Each of these students have invited you into their own enticing, whimsical, and even challenging worlds. Let's see some clips.
I want to share with my community that the world we live in, the society we live in.
Whenever I think about the impact I want to leave behind, I kind of struggle to prioritize what I want to do with my time. And I also teach women.
To me, to play is to engage meaningfully, acting with volition,
that creativity is an expression of someone's ideals. So even if it's just
do I have to choose if I do all three? And if I can't do all three, will I have time to still be a female player? And I also still want my time. I'm doing other things, and they're also time for them. I'm studying architecture, and I'm also doing video, so I'm on the education. What do I want to do with my text now? So, they're all kind of
values
karena gue sangat sekali suka dengan hal-hal yang berbau tradisional, gue mengimitasi gitu. Gue unconsciously gerakannya pasti tradisional, dan tari tradisional di sekolahku yang diajarin itu tuh tari remo. Yang dimana tari remo itu bener-bener gerakannya kayak wayang banget gitu. Pas sempet lihat wayang atau apa, aku mengimitasi gerakan mereka gitu. Unconsciously jadi kebawa. Secara kasar bisa dibilang spontaneous, lupain lo mikir apa atau apa, tapi bawa perasaan aja. Apa yang aku rasain itu kompasku. Apa yang ada di dada itu yang sama yang dirasain itu nyalur ke tangan, nyalur ke kaki. Itu udah nggak mikir lagi gitu. Ibarat ngilang. Lo ngilang keperasaan lo sendiri. Dan gue sih sangat sekali menikmati proses-proses itu. Ada orang-orang yang bilang, oh it's a form of healing, it's a form of self-expressing. Tapi kalau buat aku tuh, I can be myself. Aku bisa mengakui perasaanku, memvalidasi perasaanku melalui gerakan tubuh. I become so very, very passionate to move. It's like floating. It's basically like rediscovering what I can do with my own body.
Absolutely beautiful stuff, guys. Let's head over to see what you guys thought in the chat. What's happening in the chat, Jennifer?
Hey, me. Well, the reception is absolutely amazing. Everyone is super positive and super keen to look more into these projects. There was some comments earlier from actually all three channels about just the art and the aesthetics. I think that's been extremely strong this year. Earlier, people enjoyed your Twitch, on Twitch chat, there was the water painting inspired art from your project. And like later on, recently, it was talking about colors. And Lunalu said that the palette looks like cotton candy. And I totally agree. Colors are so important, like to games, to film, animation, interactivity, just everything. I know I can spend forever just picking and testing. What about you, Amy?
I think it's great. Ever since coming into this course, I've been seeing so much different style, even animation, like even just in that sort of cartoony sort of style, you can tell heavier stories or you can just give those totally dreamlike experiences with it. And I think that's absolutely phenomenal. I think that's one of the most important things that Magi wants to push away, to be experimental and just be open about your work, to explore all those possibilities.
Yeah, for sure. I love how you can explore, and it's actually surprising to me how well like cartoon type aesthetics work, even for like really deep subjects. And on to the second part, there was some comments like throughout again, just talking about music. And someone mentioned that it's really important because it lifts up the spirits of like the listeners for that one. And yeah, I could probably sleep to that music that was like played not too long ago. Amy, have you had any experiences with music?
I haven't had much personally, but looking at a lot of these works, you can really tell that music just adds that finalizing but very important touch to them that just really brings the whole work together and makes it come alive, basically. Very, very beautiful work, guys. Now let's head back to Oneeb to bring us right back into Boxtopias.
Thank you so much, Amy and Jennifer. Well now, we all like to relax. Or I hope so. We all like to kick back and laugh. Now for a unique collection of silly stories, light-hearted observations, and kooky characters. And of course, a variety of scaly friends. I think you'll enjoy our next segment, which is coming on.
Welcome back, guys. And now for a quick change of pace, let's dive into a different world of interactivity. Experimental ways of using digital media are expanding all the time. The emergence of the printing press, the radio, the cinema, and television all provoked new ways of communicating and ultimately new ways of seeing our world. Our next segment showcases new media works, experimental possibilities, and innovative interfaces. Let's roll.
Wow. Expanded visions indeed. It's truly amazing to think about what new technology could offer. What artists are doing creatively with VR and AR is growing all the time, and it's truly mind opening to see the results. It's a great medium for creative exploration. Coming up, we would like to present some more awards. Our next award will be presented by Carlo Tolentino and Emmett Redding. We're so glad you could join us. Over to you, Emmett and Carlo.
Thank you, Amy. And hello, Emmett.
Hi, Carlo. How's it going?
I'm doing great, Emmett. Thanks for asking. Quick question, Emmett. Do you remember what we were doing exactly 12 months ago?
Well, I remember we were producing the 2020 Expo, and we might have been talking about how lockdown might be ending soon.
Yes, time indeed flies. And maybe eventually we get to see each other soon physically. And hopefully by next Expo, the Magi team will be buying us drinks in person. I was ready for a physical appearance this time. I actually wore this pink shirt to be on theme with a Boxtopia pink, but here we are.
Well, yeah, I put on a shirt, but I'm still wearing my tracksuit pants. But what have we got on for tonight, Carlo?
Well, Emmett, we're here to present some awards, specifically the Magi Expo Awards.
Let's go.
All right, so whether you're making an animation, a game, or a physical installation, sound and music can elevate the immersiveness of your work. The Achievement in Sound or Music Award recognizes projects that use audio in compelling, original, and exciting new ways. Firstly, let me tell you that the judges have made an honorable mention. This honorable mention goes to, drumroll, Critter Keeper by Justin Jatke. Well done, Justin. Woo! And the award for Achievement in Sound or Music goes to, drumroll, Lysander Wilkins for Heartbeat. Congratulations to the nominees, to Justin and to Lysander for his work.
Behind every creative project lies years of cultural context, conceptual development, and experimentation. By documenting their creative process, artists can pass on their knowledge to future creators and invite them to expand upon it. This award recognizes the Magi research projects that share invaluable creative knowledge in an exemplary way. Here, the judges could not decide on a final award recipient, and so their judgment was tied. The award here is extended equally to 2 students. The achievement for documentation, essay, or research goes first to Courtney Price for Examine Parser, a formal analysis of the text adventure genre, and Ben Manser for Lisa the Vegan. Congratulations to the nominees, to Courtney and to Ben. Well done on the brilliant work.
Ooh, go Ben.
And Courtney, and everyone else.
All right. So during their time in Magi, students take various approaches to showcase their practice to the outside world and the industry. Whether they present their work across multiple social media platforms or focus their efforts in one place, this award is given to a portfolio of outstanding works that demonstrate a clear identity and creative direction. The achievement in portfolio goes to, drumroll, Yi Hui Wong. Congratulations to the nominees and well done, Yi, for your work.
Yes. The growing field of user interface design draws on all the principles of graphic design and animation. The user experience takes into account the emotional and conceptual ways that an audience might interact with applications. This award is given to recognize a student's special commitment to user interface design and to works that instill special user experience. In determining the award for achievement in interactivity, UI, and/or UX, the judges again were tied, Carlo. So much great work to choose from. And so the award for the award for achievement in interactivity, UI, and/or UX goes firstly to Amy Wu and Tony Nguyen for Classic of Mountains and Seas, and secondly to Duncan Corrigan for Life at 12:47 p.m. Congratulations to the nominees, to Amy and Tony, and also to Duncan. Well done for your great work. Wow, Carlo, what a great collection of work.
It was indeed collection. It makes me think that I wish there was awards when we were students.
Yeah. I mean, it would everyone be good. But it's been very good to see you again, finally, Carlo.
It's been very good to see you as well, Emmett, and I will see you soon and the rest of the Magi cohort eventually, physically.
Well, fingers crossed. I mean, yeah, have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmett and Carlo. And yes, a great collection of work, and congratulations again to the nominees and our award recipients. I have with me two very special guests today, and I'll be discussing their work with them. First off, we have Vian Wing Yan Chao and we have Maxine Gori. How are you both doing?
Hi, Uni. We're doing great.
Hey, Anib. Good.
Lovely. So first off, Vian, let's kick this off with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Bardo? I remember seeing it in the Studio 2 showcase in class, and whew, it really blew me away.
Oh, thanks, Uni. I really appreciate it. Bardo is actually a 2D animation, and it tells the story of a dead character who's falling into a cycle of frustration while she's going through her reincarnation. So it actually emphasizes mainly on her emotional changes from a denial to acceptance during the journey.
Wow. And honestly, it really comes through in your work. I could really feel the character's fear and frustration. So now this topic of death is actually a tricky one to navigate. What motivated you to tackle telling such a story?
Well, it seems like death is an obscure topic to talk about within the society, but death is unavoidable. Like, we've all faced that vulnerable moment in the past. So I would like to include a broad interperception and interpretation of death from different cultures in my work and help people getting through that heartbreaking moment if it's possible.
I agree there, Vian. It's definitely something that's quite unavoidable and also something that's very hard to deal with. But something about your work that really blew me away was your surreal and fluid style. What draws you to that style of animation?
Okay, so I love drawing some fluid transformation and really calm me. Then I really like performing objects and topic in a colorful and abstract way.
That's lovely to hear. And now, Maxine, why don't you tell us a little bit about Molly of the Overside? I remember having a conversation with you last semester in Animated Narratives about it.
That's right, Anib, yeah. When I enrolled in Magi, I aimed to sort of use the entire course as a way to develop a concept for an animated television series. And that project has been Molly of the Overside.
I see. And what do you want the audience to take away from your work?
I've been filling it up with my own experiences, dealing with ADHD, dealing with managing emotional responses. And the hope is that anyone else who's had a similar sort of experience would be able to watch it and feel a connection through that.
That's quite beautiful, Maxine. I mean, it really comes across in your work as well. And media is one of those forms of communication that allows people to truly connect. So that's great. But moving on now, this is a compliment. I'm just prefacing that. But it came to my knowledge that you're someone who's an absolute nerd about animation. You're so passionate and knowledgeable about it. So where does that come from? Like, where do you get all this energy and passion from?
Well, throughout all my life, I've loved animation because generally I tend to find live action content rather unappealing. And as well, like my career focus is in animation. So everything I do for enjoyment, everything I do to keep up on career goals, it's all just sort of animated focused, following animators on social media, reading animation news. That's just generally how I find all the new interesting little things.
I can kind of relate to what you said about live action. To me, it feels like with animation, there's a lot more you can express with the medium and just a lot more leeway you have as a creator. And I heard something very exciting, and that was that you got to work on a TV animation recently. What's your experience with that been like, and how do you find working professionally in a studio?
It's incredible, Anib. It's just been the most amazing experience. It's allowed me to sort of develop my skills as an animator, like far beyond what I could do on my own. It's such a nice experience to work in a team where others are doing the scripts, the storyboards, background props, character models. And it allows me to just purely focus on the animation aspect there. And it just allows me to develop those skills. And it's just, been a wonderful experience.
I can totally relate to what you said about teams. It's so nice working in a team and knowing that somebody else has your back. So you can also just focus on what you're very specifically good at or specific aspects, which really just brings out the best in creators. Now, I've got a question for both of you, Vian and Maxine. What's next? What are you planning next in your works of animation for next few months, few years, in the future?
Yeah, I'm actually still planning for my next animation, but I would really like to try another heavy or obscure topic to do with. If I have a chance, I would like to collab with other grad students in Magi.
For myself, I'll basically just sort of be taking all the groundwork development I've been doing on the Molly of the Overside project and turning into something that I can broadcast online, share with everyone.
That's super cool. And I am so excited to see what the both of you make in the future. Especially Maxine, I'm really keen to see Molly on the Overside. From what I've seen, it's definitely a show I would binge watch multiple times.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to have to draw this interview to a close, but thank you so much, Maxine and Vian. It's been lovely chatting with you. Bye for now.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks.
Bye. Now, I think it's very sweet that behind each work isn't just another tired student. In fact, there's many, many tired students helping each other out. And as someone who's been doing this course remotely, it has been incredible to have this online community.
Right.
Amy?
I shouldn't be. Totally, Oni. And this goes beyond our classes, right? One of the best places to connect with a cohort and just other students is all the clubs here at Magi. That is the one area where, in spite of being online, a good club meeting feels like there's no space between you at all.
Precisely. And sometimes it's just, sharing work and being helpful to each other. Sometimes it's about watching something cute or funny or just the weirdest animation you've ever seen together.
Yeah, and it's so nice to have that designated time and place just for, spending time with other people, especially in the last year where a few of us are feeling extra lonely because of the lockdown situation. There has been real value in having that space.
For sure. And I think that even beyond those circumstances, having those spaces really breathes a lot of life into the gears of this course. And week by week, it breathes some life into each other and all of us as a collective.
Yeah, totally have to agree with you there, Neve. Now, before we get too caught up in the chit-chat here, let's have a look at our next selection of works.
Sounds good, Amy. Well now, ideas are hard to communicate. Some ideas are hard to explain through words alone. Digital media can reveal relationships between people and the world in powerful ways. These directors shine a light on issues that affect us in our local communities and in some cases across the globe. Let's have a look at the following segment.
Wow, those were some incredible animations, and definitely has a special place in my heart because of how horrible but good that they are. Moving on to our next segment, it's called Tales from the Box Side. Life is full of weird, inexplicable happenings. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're absolutely frightening. Tales from the Box Side collects off the wall stories that celebrates the surreal. Behold the odd chaos of everyday life and gain a greater understanding of our strange place in the strange world. Let's see some clips.
Wow, another amazing segment. Now, before we head into the last awards segment of the night, I've got one very special guest to interview for you guys. Music Shalvarad. Hi there, Music. How are you going?
Hi, Onib. How are you?
Good, good. Been pretty busy with the expo,
Nice.
as you can imagine. Now, I've heard that you're graduating. How does it feel?
Lonely, maybe? Because I had always worked with my fellow Magis at the studio till late all the time. I'm missing those moments a lot lately. But at the same time, I'm also excited to be working in the field that I love.
I can understand that, Music. I mean, when I was finishing up my bachelor's degree, that's when online study started, and I really missed this sensation of just staying up late, working on assignments and panicking with your friends in the same lab. And wow, so I've heard you've got some excited stuff planned. So what kind of projects have you been working on?
During the course, I tried to explore as many things as I could, like animation, games, and augmented reality, so I can integrate them with advertising. I had tried, but after some iteration process, I found myself coming back with an interactive idea all the time. The latest project that I'm proud of is the Storyview AR application. It allows people to wheel the menu and play mini games to earn a reward when they need to find QR code in the bar to collect ingredients and create their cocktails. Have you been to Storyview, Oni?
Yeah, I checked it out, and it's pretty cool, actually. Like, it sounds like a very fun activity on like a night out. So what was the inspiration behind it? Like, how'd you get this idea?
The idea of advertising doesn't need to be boring and, of course, fun.
Yeah, I can understand that. Most of the advertisements I come across are boring, to say the least. But it would be nice to see more interactive things like story time around. And so what's one of the main things you'd like the audience to take away from your projects? Like, is there a particular message you're trying to send, or what's the case with that?
I feel people have negative attitudes when talking about advertising, and I want them to know that it's not always as bad as they think, but it can be enjoyable too.
Yeah, I see. And it really sort of comes across in your work. And if all advertisements were like your work, Music, honestly, I wouldn't skip a single one. And so, with all of that behind us, what do you have planned next? Is there anything great you've got brewing in your mind, or potentially a good work in progress? What are your plans for the next few months, years, however long it may be?
Like, I'm actively looking for a job right now. Hopefully, I can jump into the advertising industry in Australia very soon and be able to make some changes to the industry so it won't be boring to look at anymore.
For sure. I've got fingers crossed for you, Music. I'm sure that you'll land a very good job. And hopefully, one day, advertisements won't be boring, possibly thanks to you. So thank you so much for this chat, Music. It's been lovely seeing you and speaking with you. I'd like to move on now to the Student Awards.
Thank you, Music and Anib. So next up, we have the Expo Best in Show Award for 2021. It's given to the work that has gained the most interest from the student base. Not the rules or requirements, just work so popular they're worth highlighting. And the award for the Best in the Show award goes to, drumroll please, congratulations to Benjamin Manso. Woo! And then now on to Anib for the next award.
Thank you, Jennifer. The Magi Baton Award is an award that recognizes exceptional new students as judged by those graduating in 2021. This award is not tied to a specific work or idea a student has produced, but rather it is awarded to supportive students, enthusiastic club participants, or all-around Magi legends. And the Magi Baton Award goes to, drumroll please, Duncan Corrigan. Congratulations so much, Duncan, and to the nominees.
All right, thank you, Anib and Jennifer. Now it's over to Nguyen to present our final award for the night. Take it away, Nguyen.
Thank you, Amy, and good evening, everyone. I'm Uyên, an artist, researcher, and tutor at Magi. It is my pleasure and honor to announce the John Bird Award for Outstanding Achievement. The John Bird Award is extended in the spirit of the values promoted by the founder of what became the Magi course. An Australian media pioneer, John Bird promoted innovation, excellence, and connection in the creative use of media. John saw the potential for increased access and creativity in the combination of traditional, electronic, and digital arts when these combinations were still fringe activities in the 1980s. John was a renowned communicator and teacher. He always encouraged students to aim high in their efforts to create new forms and explore ways of connecting with audiences. This award is given for the premium expression of the values that we aspire to at Magi. The judge's decision was made in recognition of a passionate artist and storyteller with great commitment to her craft. In addition to creating outstanding work in both animation and games, she's highly engaged with the studio cultures at Magi and is very, very generous with her knowledge. She has shown initiative and leadership in her involvement in the 3D Club and is very supportive of the work of her peers. The 2021 John Bird Award for Outstanding Achievement goes to Amber Southall. Congratulations to Amber, we're very proud of you and are grateful for your contribution. On a personal note, I'd like to say that it has been a challenging and rewarding year and I look forward to seeing your creative efforts growing into the future. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations again, Amber, and back to your hosts.
Well, that brings us towards the end of the Magi Expo 2021. A big round of applause and congratulations to all the winners and nominees this year. Really phenomenal effort from everyone else. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming. Stay safe, and we hope to see you next year.
Totally, Amy. And as a quick reminder, everyone, feel free to check out all the showcase works today, including ours, and more on the Expo website, rmitmagiexpo.com.
In any case, for those of you who are craving some more Expo goodness, there is an after-party going on in the virtual Boxtopias space. However, I'm not the best at dancing in person, or virtually for that matter. You ready to call it, Amy and Jennifer?
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
Well, that's a wrap for the show. It's been a blast. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye.